Hi, I'm Wendy Adams, and I am at the Colorado School of Mines. I'm the director of Teach at Mines, and I'm also the principal investigator for this Get the Facts Out project, which is an NSF-funded project to recruit physics, chemistry, and math teachers. And we've developed research-based, user-tested resources for you to recruit teachers in any STEM discipline. And so to begin with, I'm going to ask you if you would please pause the video and take this pretest. You can just use your phone and use the QR code, or you could use your browser and use the link that's shown here. This would be very helpful for our external evaluator and for our purposes to see if sharing this material in the form of a video is actually effective, considering the challenges we're all facing now. So if you wouldn't mind, please pause and take this pretest. Okay, so now that you've taken the pretest, I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm going to talk about in the next 10 minutes or so. I'm going to talk a little bit about the teaching profession and why it's the best kept secret. And I'm going to tell you about the Get the Facts Out project, how you can share the facts, and then some new supports we have in place for GFO Champions, which are anyone who chooses to share the facts. Did you know teachers in the United States rate their lives better than all other occupation groups, trailing only physicians? This teacher well-being is very high for multiple reasons, but three of which include work-life balance, student and colleague relationships, and financial stability. So when we ask teachers what makes their job satisfying day to day, the majority of the responses are related to students, relationships, that light bulb moment. They also talk about their work schedules. They talk about how teaching is challenging and scientific, the relationships they have with their colleagues, the opportunities that they have to learn new content, and the autonomy that they have within the classroom. And so teachers in the United States start on average somewhere around 45,000. Here's some sample districts across the country, and you can see these particular districts start as much as at 60,000. And this is for somebody with a bachelor's degree. And by mid-career, before age 40, teachers in the US are making somewhere between $60,000 and $100,000 a year. And these are 9-month contracts, so that means teachers have flexibility in the summer, they have Christmas breaks, spring break, etc. Now, if you were to compare being a grade 7 through 12 teacher to being a college permanent teaching faculty, so somebody who has a secure job where their predominant assignment is teaching, teachers by mid-career are getting paid better on average than college faculty. And these college faculty shown here are faculty who have PhDs, and the teachers shown here started with a bachelor's. So the comparison here isn't even of equal age. Another comparison to give you an idea of where teacher salaries fall is here's starting teacher salaries in the US. This is from a big salary data mining project that we did, and we compare that to the typical salaries of bachelor degree recipients. And you can see different STEM majors here, and teachers are quite competitive with the other STEM majors, and teaching again is the only profession shown here that is not a 12-month contract. Did you know there are student loan forgiveness programs and scholarships for math and science teachers? There's federal loan forgiveness, and often there's some state programs or local district programs. Did you know most teaching jobs have better retirement benefits than other jobs you can get with the same degree? In fact, teachers in the US retire on average at age 59 compared to age 63 for all other occupations. So I'd like you to pause again and answer this question to yourself, and I know you did it on the pretest, but recall what you answered to the fraction of teachers that remain in the profession at year 5. And there was a large longitudinal study done by the Department of Ed that found that 78% of secondary teachers are in the classroom at year 5. And that is very high compared to other professions. The data we have found indicates that only the health professions might do better than this, but all other professions, especially the professions, the jobs students can get with the same degree, have lower retention rates than teaching. Content flexibility. Teachers have to follow grade 7 through 12 state standards. They have to follow next generation science standards or Common Core standards, depending on what their district requires. But these do allow some flexibility for the teachers in what they do. Some districts also have pacing guides, and sometimes pacing guides will tell the teacher all the way down to the day of the week where the teacher should be at in the content. These are typically something you would see more often in an elementary classroom or maybe middle school, not as much in high school. But even with these requirements that the teachers follow, teachers are still demonstrating that they feel they have flexibility over what happens in their classroom. As one teacher told me, they are the CEO of their classroom. And so the real litmus of this, where teachers were asked, 5,000 teachers answered this survey. Do you feel you have control over content, topic, and skills to be taught? So pause again, answer. It's 90% of teachers agree with this statement that they have at least some level of control. And then when asked if they feel they have control over selecting teaching techniques, what fraction do you think answered that they do? It turns out to be 95%. So when asked, teachers are professionals, and teachers know what they're doing. They have expertise in how to teach. And so given whatever guidelines or constraints that might come down from them from administration or from the district, they still know how to make choices and do what's best for their students within the classroom. So 90% report at least some control over content, topic, and skills, and 95% over teaching techniques. And these were K-12 teachers in this survey, not just high school. So how about respect? What fraction of teachers do you believe answered the statement, I am treated with respect by students and parents, by agreeing or strongly agreeing? Turns out it was 87%. And there were other various questions that went with this survey that shows that teachers are feeling respected in the classroom. So Get the Facts Out is a project that originally started as a 100K and 10 project team, and then was successful in acquiring a 5-year, $3 million NSF grant to support the project. So it's a first of its kind partnership between 4 national societies, and then the Colorado School of Mines. We lead the research initiative and coordinate the project. So the motivation behind the project is that there is a severe shortage of physics, chemistry, and math teachers in this country. Excuse me. And if you were asked this question, and you did this on the pretest, how interested are you in, how do you think students answered the question, how interested are you in being a middle or high school teacher? What fraction do you think answered that? Pause and give yourself a chance to answer. So the panel on public affairs of the American Physical Society asked thousands of college students across the country, and they found that 40 to 50% of STEM majors indicate an interest in being a middle or high school teacher. So 40 to 50% of majors are saying that they have some interest in becoming a teacher. And our survey data that we've collected in the first year from 2,000 students across the country shows similar responses. We're seeing 54% have some level of interest, and it's really only just over 20% who have no interest. And so this tells you there is a large pool of students who are interested in becoming teachers. We just need to help them see what a quality profession this is and why they would be happy doing this job. And even more concerning than the fact that we already have high needs is that over the last 6 to 8 years, the number of students earning licensure has been dropping precipitously. It's very concerning. And we also see for the first time in our nation's history that fewer parents are comfortable having their child become a teacher than having their child become a teacher. So it has become acceptable to celebrate the negatives of the profession. And with this project, we're giving you permission to please start celebrating the positives of the profession. Because remember, teachers' well-being is higher than all other occupation groups, trailing only physicians. So if you would like to learn how to share the facts or would like to share the facts at your institution, we have created a whole range of resources and strategies for you. So I'm going to show you, we've got in our resources are directed at either faculty and advisors or for students, peers, and parents, whichever venue you're working with. And so for the faculty presentation, it's a data mining type of exercise. It has clicker questions built in, and it allows faculty time to dig into the data that I have quickly shown you today. And there are 2 versions. There's a 15-minute version that only covers a small fraction of the data. And then there's a 50-minute version, which we strongly recommend if you have the opportunity to do something that long. And we've shown really strong gains in people's knowledge of the facts of the profession once they've experienced this presentation. And we also have a presentation if you want to share it with people who want to become somebody who shares things. So you need a little bit more time to show them the resources. We also have a student presentation. It's a clicker question discussion based presentation. And students are concerned with salaries, job satisfaction, and retirement. So it focuses in on those facts. And it comes in a 15-minute flavor or 30 minutes. The 30 minutes, of course, is the one that we see is most effective, but the 15-minute has also shown a difference. And we find that students have to hear about the facts of the profession before you can tell them about all the great scholarship opportunities you have and how the opportunities to try out teaching in your program. They have closed the door for themselves, not because of interest, but because they think they're going to be unhappy and not be able to have support the life that they want to lead. And so this has to be straightened out before they're able to consider the profession. So when we look back at the resources we have presentations, but we also have strategies on how to reach students. So we talk about how you could work with admissions. We just presented to admissions last week. You could attend the beginning of a class. We've had folks telling us that it's almost easier to do it on Zoom, to come in for the first 5 minutes and talk to them about the profession and opportunities at the institution. Direct email has worked really well for us. Student life events, Office of Residence Life, we have worked to educate the RAs so that when students want to talk to the RAs about the opportunity, the RAs know something about the profession. Advisors, of course, are important. The Career Center, Student Math and Science Associations, Alumni Association. Maybe there's other options on your campus. Every time I talk to somebody, they have some other option that they have learned about on their campus. So if you go to our website, you can access all of these resources. They're all in a format that can be customized, so either PowerPoint or Word, so that it's very easy for you to put in information about your program and also to update the data with local teacher salaries, which we can help you with. I'll talk to you about in just a minute. But we have posters and brochures there. There's also a flyer template that has our tested messaging integrated, so you can just talk about your program in all the blank spaces, and then it includes messaging about the profession, advice on how you can share your passion for teaching. There's assessments to measure your students and your faculty perceptions. We've also worked really hard to outline the critical features of what it looks like when you share the facts. So if we focus in on the outcomes, when you're done, when you've been doing this at your local program, or if you choose to do it somewhere else, people will notice and understand messages related to get the facts out, have positive attitudes towards teaching as a profession, and engage in conversations with trusted others, peers, faculty, advisors, and champions to process ideas about teaching as a profession. What should a GFO champion look like? Someone who shares the facts. There's 5 pieces of advice, but one in particular that's interesting that we've learned is to avoid voicing misperceptions about teaching as a profession when others voice them based on available facts. And so it may seem intuitive to talk about the misperception and then counter it with data. But when you teach physics, for example, you don't talk about all of the misperceptions students have before sharing the correct information. That's just too much information, and people walk away with the incorrect information. What should sharing the facts look like? Use the tested messages. We have spent years testing how to talk about the data in a positive way and a clear way. So we also have supports in place for anyone who wants to share the facts. For example, to define who wants to share the facts, it could be as simple as having a conversation with a student or a colleague about the facts, or it could be sharing a meme on Facebook, or maybe you go to a regional meeting and you present an hour-and-a-half workshop. There's a whole range of how it looks to share the facts. Using any of these resources and any of the tested messaging counts as being a GFO champion. So if you're a GFO champion, we encourage you to come to our website and register as a GFO champion, and then you will appear on our map, and your program will be linked to our map so that people can find you and find your program. There are 4 levels of champions. So as you share the facts, you can log them with a simple Google form, and then we can raise your level of champion to 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. And this is something you could list on your CV or your annual faculty update. We will recognize you through our newsletter and on our Facebook page. So please join our Facebook page. That can help you with updates, give you an opportunity to ask questions about resources, their profession. You can hear from other people who are sharing the facts. You can get memes to share on your page. talk to GFO researchers about our studies. And this I alluded to earlier. We now have a resource where you can fill out this form and we will look up local teacher salary data for you next to your institution where your students are most likely to get a job. We've found that's a big hurdle, and it'll make it much easier for you to customize the resources for your program if we just hand you this data. It takes our experts an hour and a half to find this data per site on average. It would take you at least 3 hours. And so this is hopefully going to make a big difference for people. And then a newest thing that our evaluator is offering is if you use the pre-test that I asked you to take, which I hope you all took, and the post-test, which I'm going to ask you to take here in just a minute, then our evaluator will take that data and send you a customized report from your presentation. So if you just pre-register your presentation, which is very easy, you put in your name and your email and say what you're doing, she'll see your data come through and she'll send you a report. So thank you for listening to this video, and please go to the link and fill out the survey. And if you didn't do it as a pre-test, then just do it as a post-test, that's fine. And sign up for updates. Go to our website and sign up for updates so that you can get our newsletter and also our Facebook page. We would love to have you join our community and help us recruit more STEM teachers. Thank you very much.